And what is going on, everybody, and welcome to Rant on Wrestling. I'm your host, the man with the golden mic, Anthony DeStefano, and I am super hyped about this project, Rant on Wrestling, part of the Elite POV YouTube channel. I'm part of the Elite POV show, a co-host on that show, breaking down all things All Elite Wrestling. Go check it out. If you're watching this, hit that sub button. Check out the show. It's very positive. It's very fun. When we were talking about content creating, though, I had this idea of bringing back a one-man show. One man, one mic, one topic. It's how Rant with Ant used to be before all the different versions, before the mask logo. This was Rant with Ant. It was me in front of a microphone ranting on one topic. One man, one topic, one show. And this is what Rant on Wrestling will be as well. Now, tonight I'm breaking down something that I think all of us read about on the internet every single day, and that is the art of war, or as I want to call it, the art of competition. Because in the book, The Art of War, it states in the midst of chaos, there's opportunity. And what we have right now is an opportunity. Opportunity as wrestling fans to embrace all the great things pro wrestling is giving us. For the first time in about 25 years, we have two major companies with the assets and the finances to give us these amazing shows, to give us this amazing product. And all I'm seeing is tribalism. All I'm seeing is people split down the middle, Bloods and Crips. And we don't need to be at each other's throat. This isn't politics. To us, we need to embrace that there are two great companies with a bunch of great superstars, and we need to support them. Now, I want to get into why competition is a good thing. And I know people might hate how AEW spoofs WWE or talks about WWE, but if you go back, and we were all clamoring for competition, right? We love the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. They just made fun of each other. Nitro would sit there and spoil Raw for you. And we were okay with that at the time. And now, if someone trash talks, it's a problem. And I don't get that. And the reason I don't get that is because anyone who's ever been a competitor knows that competition makes you better. Competition makes you stronger, right? It's easy to blow away, another wrestling promotion who doesn't have the money or the assets. Well, WWE has stepped up their game a little bit. We have Big E as the champion, something we've all wanted, right? We have Reigns, finally a heel, doing some of the best character work in pro wrestling. But then we also have AEW with Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson and the return of CM Punk. There's so much good in pro wrestling that we don't need to be at each other's necks about it. This isn't a gang affiliation. This is entertainment. The wrestlers themselves, they can be in competition because you know what? Competition is good. I go to work every day for a retail store. Our competition's Home Depot. My job there is to take as much as I can away from Home Depot and bring it home and bring it in-house. And how do I do that? Great customer service. Great performance. A rapport factor, right? And that's what these people are creating with their audience. AEW, to me, when I watch them, I feel welcomed. I feel like I'm wanted in. I don't feel insulted. My intelligence isn't questioned. And then sometimes I watch WWE and I enjoy what they're doing. Most of the time I don't. But I'm not going to sit here and say, this brand sucks. It just doesn't make any sense to me why people will watch something that they hate and complain about it. Or they won't watch the other product and they will complain about the product they don't watch. How it's trash, how it's horrible. Have you watched it? Have you gave it an opportunity or an honest opinion of it? Have you gave an honest opinion? Have you sat back and looked at what you're looking at and realized that for the first time in 25 years, we can have fun as wrestling fans? And yeah, they can be in competition against each other. But competition isn't war. They're not on the same nights. The term war gets thrown around way too much. This isn't a war, it's a competition. You want to beat your competitor. You want to be the best. And that's what AEW is trying to do. They're trying to be the best. And that's what WWE is trying to hold on to. They're trying to be the premier place for sports entertainment. So, competition's a great thing. Not only for the shows. Not only for the wrestlers who will see bigger paydays because of it, but for us as fans. Us as fans, we can sit back, we can consume the content. The ratings talk, it's fun to watch, right? It's fun to talk about demos. We shouldn't give a shit about it. We watch the show we like. We watch the show we want. And we want the shows. We want both shows to do good. Because we want both shows on TV. We want people to embrace wrestling like we do. And this cult and this tribalism that comes with it is making it split into two. And I think we can have discussions. I'm very open. I do an All Elite Wrestling podcast, and I like AEW better. But I will never, ever shit on the fact that somebody likes WWE better. WWE was here first, right? WWE made pro wrestling pretty much pop culture. So WWE paved the way. All Elite Wrestling could follow the road that was paved and give us more entertainment for pro wrestling fans. Competition is great, and I know people hate Tony Khan because he's nerdy. Tony Khan's a wrestling fan. I love Tony Khan. I'd have a beer with Tony Khan and talk about pro wrestling. Another thing, he talks too much shit. Tony Khan has a chip on his shoulder. And that's great. Tony Khan wants to be the best. Tony Khan is showing that he is going to run his mouth because he wants to be in the position WWE is. He wants to be the top dog. And I was always told, you don't dress for the position that you're in. You dress for the position you want. And he wants to be the top. And when he's talking and he's running his mouth, it's to motivate him and his squad to be number one. I have no problem with them talking. He owns the company. His livelihood is in that company. Let him talk. Let him run his mouth. If you don't like it, mute it, block him. Because competition is such a beautiful thing. There's nothing like sitting down and watching two of the best athletes box or fight, or two of the best teams go into a shootout and go into overtime. There's nothing like competition. Us as wrestling fans should embrace that competition is so great, and that we have CM Punk back, we have Bryan Danielson in AEW, and it's almost like the balance of pro wrestling. The things that we clamored for, there was too many people on WWE roster. We need to get a different show so we can get all of our favorites. Malachi Black feels like one of the biggest stars in the world, and he wasn't doing anything on Raw. So having that competition, having AEW, a different outlet for professional wrestling, creates so much opportunities for us as fans, for the performers. Last, I want to get into the fans' reaction to it. Like I said, AEW is my favorite show on television. I am an All Elite person. I'll always watch SummerSlam. I'll always watch WrestleMania. It's ingrained in me as a wrestling fan. Some of the storylines that they have going in WWE are good. But if you don't like it, you don't have to shoot them down. AEW, I think, has the best pro wrestling on TV. But if you don't like it, you don't have to go after them or go after their fans. We're not in competition. We don't work for the company. We don't own the company. We are fans. We should sit back, consume everything we want. Consume all the good stuff. I will openly admit I do not watch WWE programming. And it's not because I don't love some superstars there. I just think I can consume what I need for WWE on YouTube. And I have friends that do the same for AEW. And it's fine. But to bash a product that you don't watch, or you haven't given a chance to, or you didn't go in with an open mind, is unfair and unjust to the wrestlers, to the performers. I'm just saying we can all coexist because pro wrestling is so fun. And when it is good, there's nothing better in the world. And right now, pro wrestling's at its best. So I just wanted to go a little rant on wrestling on how competition is so important in wrestling and in fandom. We're not at competition with each other. They're at competition for our entertainment. We should be honored. We should be thankful that this even exists 25 years after the Monday Night Wars and the best time in pro wrestling. Maybe we get to relive that. You never know what nights are going to switch or what the network wants. But right now, I'm enjoying being a wrestling fan. And you should too. Thank you guys for joining the debut episode of Rant on Wrestling. Make sure you check out Elite POV. Follow me at ant_is_elite. This show will be coming out bi-weekly on a YouTube. The reason I'm doing YouTube and not, Spotify or Anchor, I want to go back to the roots. This is how I started. So by doing this, I just feel the connection to it, to go back to where I started 6 years ago. And I hope you enjoy it. Every week there's going to be a different rant on wrestling. It will be more geared towards all elite wrestling, as we are Elite POV, and this is what we kind of broadcast and what we commentate on, is all things all elite. There could be other content coming with this on different platforms about different wrestling, but really right now I'm really focused on AEW and the joy it brings to me. But if you don't like AEW, that's perfectly fine. All I'm asking is give it an honest chance and see how you feel. Take the fandom, take the tribalism out of it and see how you feel. And check out our show. I think you'll really like it. It's positive people talking about wrestling, something that we love. We're not trying to be dirt sheets. We're not trying to get inside information. We're just trying to have fun with a passion of pro wrestling. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you for joining the Rant on Wrestling.